Not.
No, I agree with you.
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria were not socialized.
If you're going to walk the walk, you got to do it. You got to. Exactly right.
That's exactly right. FDR said
privatized mail delivery. Well, they privatized energy here and electricity in Los Angeles, and it didn't work out so well.
Well, you know what? Let me just say this, and that's the problem is Enron gets a lot of flack, but they were a fantastic company in the 90s.
They did not provide. Well, whatever the system was, it didn't provide energy.
Well, they were. All I know is they were good, top-notch people running that company.
The guy who went to jail, who ran that company, he got indicted, he got convicted,
and he was framed. But the point of it is
the point is that they didn't deliver energy.
Well.
Right? Do you remember there was rolling blackouts?
I'll tell you what.
How come?
I would rather have rolling blackouts and no electricity than have government-provided electricity.
Why?
Because Barry Goldwater said a government that's strong enough to provide electricity is strong enough to take it away.
I don't think that's what he said.
Well, it's very close to what he said.
That's not what he said.
Okay, well, I may have misspoke, but I stand by it because the essence of that is true.
You made something up. Okay.
That is the essence of it is true. Even
now,
if
what
it's
about
not true.
fire department? What about police departments?
Police departments should absolutely.
Let's say your wife's getting raped. You don't want a fireman?
Absolutely not. That's a terrible idea. Now we're socializing rape. That would just encourage rapists. That would encourage rapists because they say, oh, well, the taxpayers are going to pay for their...
So you're telling me you'd rather be raped than have a socialized police department?
Well, I would rather have a personal security guard because I happen to be in a position to afford one. But
what if you can't afford one?
Well, then those people probably deserved it.
They deserve to be raped?
If they can't, well, no, they don't deserve that. But if they can't afford it,
sounds like that's what you're saying.
This is America. Afford it or leave it. That was Woodrow Wilson that said that, and I happen to agree. And I think JFK would agree too.
So let's just state your position again. You are against fire departments because you believe it's socialism and they shouldn't take your taxes, and that people should be able to purchase their own privatized firefighting from fire plan from a fire insurance company.
Yeah, maybe AIG would be a good.
But there would also be private firefighting companies.
There should be franchises, fire franchises. People can open them up, publicly traded on the stock market. We have an entire manifesto on our website that lists what we want, and one of them is to make use. The problem is we're not using the whole buffalo, Jimmy. We have these Dalmatians that, by the way, Obama is using to attack the elderly.
Why do you keep making it like Obama started all this?
Well, that's the thing is people don't realize that. Have you noticed that some fire trucks in America used to be yellow before Obama? Now they're all red.
No.
And that is color indoctrination.
No.
And that's what it's called. Look up color indoctrination on Google, and you'll find Obama.
I'm sure there's still some yellow fire trucks.
Not that I've seen.
Not that you've seen?
They may have.
So this is just off the top of this is
anecdotal to my researchers.
Your researchers.
I have a lot of researchers, and I stand by this as fact. In Canada,
are your researchers from Glenn Beck's research?
No, they work for Rush Limbaugh's the EIB, and they are
that's not a real
crack researchers, and they do not get it wrong. And I'll tell you right now, if I say it, it's a fact, and that you can count on.
What are you, Lou Dobbs?
No, I am a person who speaks facts about what's happening in America. If you look at Canada's system, okay,
let's look at Canada's system.
And
firefighting?
This is another fact. Canada's firefighting system is socialized, along with a lot of their other things, which is basically its communist country, Canada.
Well, now it's communist? I thought it was socialist.
Well, they're the same thing.
No, they're not the same thing.
They're actually, yes, they're the same thing. They're fascist organizations. Now, here's the problem,
Fascism
Jimmy.
is not the same.
That's the problem. They're the same thing, and people don't, in America.
Those are not the same thing.
If you now you're not using your socialized library card, because what's happening here is there's 30 million people a year in Canada being buried in mass graves because they could not be saved in time because there's lines for fire care. In Canada, that's a fact. That is a fact. And it's indisputable.
Because you say something's a fact. It's just very disputable.
It's not, and they're mass graves. You can't find the secret mass graves, but we know they're there.
How do you know?
They're east, north, or west of Calgary, and we know that we know where they are, Jimmy. And if If Obama would allow the right kind of inspections, we would find them.
They have weapons of mass socialization.
No, they have mass graves, and you know what? Their fire trucks are weapons of mass destruction against the American people. You know, fire hoses spray down the elderly in Canada every day, and that's probably what Obama has planned. Acorn Army with fire hoses.
You know what? I think you're just trying to frighten people.
I am not trying to frighten people. There is the H1N1 virus in the fire hoses, and that is not something I'm saying for fear.
You know, in the words of Rachel Maddow, as she spoke to the head of Freedom Works, I'll say the same to you. I think you are a parasite who is getting fat off the fear of Americans.
Well, if you're quoting a communist against someone who is a principled free market capitalist, I don't know. I think that's like rock, paper, scissors.
Let me ask you a question. If the free market, you say capitalism is the best system by far?
It is,
by far.
Well, unregulated capitalism. There's this compassionate capitalism that doesn't work.
But we had that for the last 10 years, and we were led to a Great
wasn't
Depression.
given enough of a chance like Vietnam. It wasn't given the fair chance. And that's the biggest problem is America. Sometimes the liberals take over and they say, hey, we really shouldn't do this. People are dying. And that changes public opinion, and it ruins the plans.
I'm here with Troy Conrad from angrytownhall.com. Troy, thanks for being our guest.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You made some great points here today. I appreciate the debate. I appreciate bringing up salient points and you being bat crap crazy.
I don't think so. I think that
it was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
It was very nice.
Thank you, Jimmy.
No,
There's nothing to fear.
Socialist
you know what?
You don't own that microphone. The people own the microphone.